So today we're packing up some artwork to go to a show. I cannot stress enough how important the packing of your artwork is when it is going off to an exhibit or a show. Now, whether that show is local or it is across the country, it doesn't matter. Including the necessary information for your setup and for your repacking are both so important to make sure that your artwork is seen exactly how you want it to be seen. All right, so quick story time. About 9 or so years ago, basically right after I graduated from college, I got 3 weavings into a show. And I'm not going to tell you where this show was. I'm not going to tell you what the gallery's name was. But I will say it was not the best experience. When I showed up to the opening party, which was about a week or so after the actual opening of this show, which means that there were people coming in and seeing the show for an entire week before I even got there. Now, when I got there, one of my pieces was hung upside down and the other 2 were swapped. I was so confused, and honestly, I was really upset too. I had done everything that I thought I could have done to include all of the information that they would need. I made sure that everything was labeled. They said they didn't get the instructions. I think the instructions just fell into the bottom of the box and they didn't look for them. Either way, it all got worked out. They fixed everything. Now, what I've learned from that is I am super diligent about making sure that everything is perfectly labeled. Everything has all of the information that they might need. If I question whether or not they might need that hanging instructions, I put them in anyway. Because in my mind, the less questions that the gallery has about how to hang your artwork, the better it is for everybody. Not only is it a better experience for you, it's a better experience for them, but it also really creates a better relationship between the 2 of you if you're not constantly going back and forth as they're trying to figure out how to hang your artwork or how to display it. So this is the piece that we are sending off to the show. It is a paper weaving, and the gallery just asked that basically it be wrapped up. Now, everybody in the show is local. The show is for teachers and staff and board members of one of the community centers that I teach at, the Visual Arts Center of Richmond. And because of that, I am just going to be wrapping it in some fabric. So I'm not putting it in a big box or anything like that, because since it's not being shipped through like a shipping service, I don't have to worry about adding a bunch of padding or anything. So I like to, for this show, they do it every year, I like to just wrap in muslin fabric. And I do that because, well, one, I figure I might as well just lean into the fiber art, just wrap everything in fabric. Also, I think it looks really nice to me, even with something as inexpensive as muslin fabric. I really just like to use that. So we will get to wrapping that in a second. But first, I wanted to talk about one of the most important things, which sort of from earlier is labeling your artwork. You always want to put a label on the back of your artwork, whether it is physically like into the artwork where like I wrote on the back of this, or if it's a weaving, then you can stitch it in. I will throw up some photos of some things that I've done in the past for some different like fabric weavings. But for this one, I just went ahead and wrote it on the back of the wood. And I always make sure to put my name, the name of the artwork, and the year. Now, you could probably include some other information if you want to, but these I think are the most important things, especially your name and the name of the artwork, to make sure that your artwork is always going to be attributed to you and not to anybody else. There can't be any mix-ups. Your name is on the back of the piece. And also, hopefully they'll see the way that your name is written and won't accidentally hang your artwork upside down. Now, this piece is also hung on a wire, so honestly, if they somehow managed to hang this upside down, I would actually probably be a little bit impressed. Confused, but impressed. Still, I will make sure to write in the information, please hang on wire on the back of the weaving. So what I'm going to do to actually get this packed up is put out my fabric. Now, I like to buy this fabric just in like yards and yards at a time. The person who's working at the fabric counter usually is very confused. They're like, what are you doing with all of this like bland colored fabric. But yeah, because I usually, when I do it, I usually also end up buying like linen fabric at the same time, which is also kind of a neutral color. So like this. I very well may have bought this fabric the same time I bought this fabric. So anyway, I digress. All right, so I'm laying it all out, and I'm going to put my artwork down for a second here. And I have these like foam sheets that I got. I'm just sort of reusing them from some sort of package I got. I ordered something, I don't know what it was. And so I'm just gonna kind of lay this on top of here just to kind of give a little bit of protection to my paper weavings, because things could get caught, and we definitely don't want that. I mean, there's gonna be fabric over it, but still. Again, always go for safe. Do a little bit more, even if you feel like it's too much. Better too much than not enough. All right, so make sure I get all of my little hairs and stuff off of here. That's kind of the problem with doing this on the floor, but if you're like me, you probably don't have a ton of room. My studio table has currently been taken up by a project, so, you know, it is what it is. Okay, so we're just gonna fold this over. I'm basically gonna do it like a giant present. So bringing this over here. Again, get some of that dust off. And then since we're using fabric, I'm just gonna go ahead and secure everything with some pins, and just making sure to not stab my artwork, only the fabric. And then I'll probably put another one here in the middle. All right, and then over to the sides. Like that. And then again, like that. Perfect. All right, so we are now all wrapped up. That is nice. So the next thing to do is just to go ahead and add another label to the outside of the artwork attached to the fabric or attached to your paper, if that's how you are wrapping up your artwork. And then again, hopefully there's no questions that this is your artwork, it belongs to you. They'll know what it is without even opening it. So if they need to just sort of move things around, that can be very helpful for them. Also, if you keep it attached to the packing material, it will make sure that your packing material gets back to you when your artwork also gets back to you. So I'm not trying to scramble and figure out where your box is, where your fabric is, where your paper is, and stuff like that. So I always attach a label with my name, the artwork, and I'll usually put my contact information on there as well, just in case there are questions. And then I will also go ahead and attach the instructions to this piece as well, just on the outside. So again, no questions. They can't miss it if it is right there attached to the artwork. And with all that, the paper weaving is officially ready to head out to the show tomorrow. All right, so I am going to get back to doing some studio things. I am still in the studio, but I'll probably stand up and probably do a little bit of that. You know, I got some stuff over there to do too. And so you can do all the fun YouTube things, like, comment, subscribe. And also, if you didn't know, I do have a Patreon where I have monthly exclusive videos, so you can check those out, as well as a Patreon and student exclusive Discord where we are sharing finished work, asking questions, talking fiber, you know, all that fun stuff. And also, you know, if you want to learn how to weave, check out Warped Fibers, check out the shop, check out Instagram. I do a lot of stuff. So there's lots of stuff to check out, and I hope to see you over there. All right, happy weaving.